We have implemented some new features in Plastic SCM related to how you work in branch per task and how you integrate with different issue trackers. In fact, some of the new features ease a lot how you create branches from tasks and so on. Today, in order to explain it, I'm going to use codeBeamer, which is a very well-known ALM. In fact, issue trackers and all this task and bug management is very important for us because it sits in the center of what we call the branch per task. Well, branch per task is a very well-known branching pattern, and it's all about creating a branch for every single task. So the cycle goes like this. You're probably using an iterative cycle, like an agile process, like a Scrum or something. So you start your sprint, most likely 2 weeks, and then you select a pile of tasks from the backlog that you select a pile of stories from the backlog, you convert them in tasks, and then you start working on them. So for each of these tasks, for each task, you create a new branch in Plastic, switch to it, work on it. The beauty of this is that every developer is linked to the task at any point because it's basically checking in his code into the task. There's a one-to-one relationship. Once you have a pile of tasks finished, then you go create a new release, and this new release passes all the possible test suites you have, and then you label it, and then you repeat the cycle. The frequency of the release largely depends on how agile you are. I mean, I wouldn't do a release, I wouldn't postpone a release longer than a week, so at least weekly releases, but the ideal is doing one or even more than one a day. It all depends on how good your testing cycle is. So as I said, we implemented some improvements in this cycle, and I'm going to show you how they look and feel, right? So the first thing, well, we are working with codeBeamer here. As you can see in the branch explorer, we are linking every branch to an issue in codeBeamer, to an entry. This time is a task. First thing I'm going to show is how to set it up. You go to preferences, and then you go to issue tracking, and now the new thing is that you have codeBeamer on the list, right? So you have to select it and then enter the config params. In my case, I'm using a local server as a codeBeamer server. I configure my user and password. The prefix for my project is Quake because I'm working with a Quake source code, and basically it means that every branch starting on Quake will be linked to an issue or a task in codeBeamer. And once you have that, you just can apply or click OK. Since I already have it configured, I will just hit and cancel. Well, what you get here is basically the simple integration, which shows you the branch decorated with the description coming from codeBeamer, and then you get also an extra information panel here, inline codeBeamer extension, and if you double click here, you go directly to the browser and you open up the issue. That's the regular issue tracking integration we have it for several tools already, and now what I'm going to show is how we improved the branch per task cycle, integrating the issue tracker in the branch creation mechanism. So let's do that. What I'm going to do is just start from here. First thing I'm going to do is just create a baseline. So just in order to properly work on a controlled scenario, I'll just create 611, which is the next of the 610, which was the previous one. Okay, and then I'm going to just go and create a branch from there. Okay, and here comes the new thing. You can create branches manually, which basically means you put whatever name you want, or you can create already from task. And then it basically takes advantage of the integration with codeBeamer and gets all the tasks that you have assigned I'm logged in as user Pablo in codeBeamer, so it's just getting my task. Of course, I can just go and show all pending tasks from all users. We'll refresh, and there are a few of them here that are not meant to be done by me because are not assigned to me. And well, basically what I can do is just focus on mine, select one of them, and automatically create the task. It will give the branch name following the convention, which is the ID on the codeBeamer plus the prefix, and then it will fill in the comments getting from the issue tracker. You can type here wherever you want, so in case you want to customize a customized comment or something. And then you can also mark the task as open in the issue tracker automatically, just clicking there. So that's what I'm going to do. I will hit OK. Okay, my new branch is created. I see the link, and if I double click, it already says in progress, which means okay, the information is already here and the task is open. From there, we'll just follow the regular branch per task cycle, where we just can go and make changes on the branch, and we are working on a one by one association with the task. The other alternative when you work in Plastic is using a different strategy with the issue tracker, which is instead of binding issues to branches, you can bind issues manually to chain sets. It's also doable, so each time you go on checking, you have to select the task you want. To me, my favorite one, if you're working on branch per task, is obviously just stick to the default bind issues to plastic branches. So that's basically what we added. It's available for all the issue trackers and also for the custom ones you develop. We have information about that in our documentation site, where it explains how to create custom integrations, and we are moving forward with the codeBeamer integration to make it even more powerful in the coming releases. Hope it is helpful and you enjoy the latest Plastic SCM release.